Today's episode is going to be amazing because I'm going to teach you how to set boundaries in a matter of minutes. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie and here we cover everything holistic wellness, personal development for entrepreneurial minded women. So let's get right into it. I want to clarify what it actually means to set boundaries and why you need to set them. So a boundary is a distinction you make about what belongs in your life and what doesn't belong in your life. And this is contingent upon who you are and, more importantly, who you want to become. So this is why boundaries are so important. This vision that you have been given by God or universe of who you are capable of becoming was given to you for a reason, and that is a gift that you are capable of giving to the world, but only if you make the right choices and you allow the right things into your life. So if you don't know how to set the boundaries of what doesn't belong in your life, you are going to allow yourself to get held back and stuck in the wrong situations and waste your time doing things or with people that do not serve your highest good, do not serve your family's highest good and your community's highest good, right? So when people ask me, Katie, what is it that I can do to improve myself on my self-development journey? I always tell them, well, it's wonderful that you're looking to move forward, right? If I'm trying to go in this direction, then I want to pull myself this way. However, first, you need to take a look behind you and see what is anchoring you back here. What ropes am I allowing to tie on to people and places and things that aren't serving me so that I can cut them first? And that is what a boundary is going to do in your life. It is going to cut those anchors. And so you might not know who it is that you want to become, and that is okay. It takes steps and time and just so much patience and self-exploration to really hone in on who you want to become. And that is going to be an evolving process. As a human, you're never going to stay stagnant, and that is okay. But if I had to give you some quick advice, it would be ask yourself what you want right now. If somebody says, hey, do you want to go do this? There's a gut feeling of yes or no, this serves my highest good or this doesn't. And you respond with that answer, not what you think is going to make the other person feel good, right? And also, you can just start journaling and doing reflective work on who it is that, who is this vision of yourself? If you had no limitations on where you could be, how much money you had, who you spent your time with, what your relationships looked like, what your home looked like all of the details of that, what would that be? And then you can kind of start to create a vision for yourself. And, you can even ask yourself, okay, what do I not want to be? And eliminate all those things. And those are going to help start creating an identity for you so that when opportunities and people come into your life, you can say, okay, yes, this fits into the vision, or no, this doesn't fit into the vision. But ultimately, you are struggling to set these boundaries with people and events because you care too much about what people are thinking of you, right? You have this people-pleasing tendency. You don't want to feel like a disappointment. And this might be something that you learned in childhood, whether it be from your friends or your parents, teachers, other adults, just culture and society in general. That's okay. I think most people struggle with that, and especially us women, we struggle with wanting to make sure that everybody feels good around us. But as we come into who we want to be, who's bigger, who has these boundaries, who's a winner, you have to be able to say, okay, I can't please everybody. I don't really care what people think of me, and I'm going to live my life. And if you like it, then you can stay. And if you don't like it, then you can go. And you're going to have to probably do some shadow work on why is it that I'm people pleasing? What am I scared of? Am I scared of the emotions that are going to come up, that I feel excluded, I have FOMO, that I'm not good enough, that people are going to make fun of me? Are the people in my life not supportive of me unless if I do what they need to say? And if so, should I cut the amount of time I'm spending with them? Just start to probe where this people-pleasing tendency is coming from. That way you can see it clearly and say, no, this belief doesn't serve me any longer. So when it comes to actually setting the boundaries, this is going to be a skill that you develop. Boundary setting is not something that just boom happens overnight. It doesn't feel comfortable in your nervous system when you first start doing it because you've never done it before. And I'm going to give you an example of something that happened to me recently. I have a business client that's been hiring me for work. And the other day, this individual asked me if I could take him to a personal appointment. And I had to tell him, no, that is not something that I feel comfortable doing. You know, this isn't in the scope of my work. And so here are some other options. You can take a Lyft, you can take an Uber, but let's just keep this to business. And for me, that was really, really hard to do because I wasn't used to that type of situation coming up, right? But then I started noticing when I approached other conversations, I realized, wow, nothing bad happened when I spoke my authentic truth and I set that boundary. You know, he wasn't upset. It was what it was. And you'll learn that people usually don't overreact when you set boundaries. They just say, okay, and they move on with their own life and they find their own solutions. And then it's gonna start to feel more comfortable in your nervous system. So it's a lot easier to start practicing setting boundaries when you're doing it via texts and emails, because you can take your time with the wording and make sure that it feels authentic and right and not too mean and harsh, right? Like you're just like working your way through it. But eventually you're gonna have to work your way up to being confident in setting boundaries in in-person events. And so one piece of advice I have for you is slow down when you respond to people. So if somebody says, I would love for you to come to this event, but you know that it doesn't serve where you wanna go, or maybe you just don't know about it yet, you can pause. I wanna give you permission to pause. It is okay to say, let me think about it. Let me get back to you on this one. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate you thinking of me, but I need to reflect on it. I need to see if it fits in my calendar. I need to see if it aligns with my goals. It is okay to let there be a moment of silence, and it is okay to not give answers immediately. Another part of this is stop justifying everything. If you do not want to hang out with somebody or go somewhere, then simply practice saying no. Thank you for thinking of me. This doesn't align. No, thank you. Period. Because every time you say, oh, my mom has an appointment, I gotta take my dog here, I had a really long day, I'm too tired, whatever, XYZ, you're feeling like you have to justify because, again, you don't want to displease this other person. And the more you learn that saying no is okay and that people aren't going to freak out, the right people aren't going to freak out, you're going to start to feel more and more comfortable doing it. And you're going to start attracting people in your life that are going to help pull you forward towards your goals, respect where you're going, instead of holding you back here where you don't want to be. And you're going to realize how safe you are, and you're going to start building this momentum of where you want to go. And the last thing I want to leave you with is that you can set boundaries with yourself. You know that you want to be the girl that lives over here in the future. Set boundaries with yourself. Say, I'm not going to, say like you have a fitness goal, right? Tell yourself if you're not going to eat the piece of cake, then you don't eat the piece of cake. If you tell yourself, I'm going to wake up at 7 tomorrow, wake up at 7. When you start to follow through, that is how you build confidence in yourself. Your nervous system starts to trust yourself, and then it increases your self-identity and who you want to become, and setting those boundaries becomes easier because you actually are that person. So hopefully you got a lot of knowledge from this video. You understand better why it's important to set boundaries and how to do it. Feel comfortable taking pauses, saying no, not having to justify yourself, following through on what you say you're gonna do, and watch opportunities start to come to you in so many miraculous ways. If you got value from this video, please make sure to share it with somebody that you think would benefit from it or enjoy learning about this topic, and subscribe to see more content just like this. I will see you guys next time. Bye.